Greetings, friends. Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and it is hump day. Welcome. We have a full chat here. We have Uncle Remus and Zucker. I can't even say what that is. Surly Unicorn or Surly Unicorn. Oh, I don't want to get that wrong. And Grumpy Old Bob 56, Burnt Umbrage. What is up? Awesome showing up on EFAP yesterday. Thank you. Yes, my voice has recovered from the 6+ hour EFAP live stream. I stayed for the whole thing, and man, it wiped me out. It really did. I even the old man took a nap afterwards. I was pretty zonked after that one, but it was great. War to Wolf is brilliant. Alex was brilliant, and of course Mahler. If you're out there, Mahler, love you, mate. You're brilliant. They're great YouTubers, and so is Rags. He wasn't there. Rags is on holiday. Ramon Sproul Anderson, Zombie Apocalypse Gary. Oh, wow. That's a name change right there. That's cool. I'm always ready for it. I plan my life around that. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, not much. It's been kind of a slow week. The Dreckies have come out. CBS blinked. That was interesting. Didn't see that one coming. So I am waiting for a fault. Well, I could tell you right now off the bat. So Kurtzman did an interview with Deadline, and then IO9 ran with the article. I do not believe there was a date on the interview. When they did it really isn't important. How they did it, I just want to clarify that people should watch the entire video. That's it. Watch the entire video. But my insider's response is, I will pull it up right now. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to show you who he is. Yes, it is a he. So that's about 50% of the planet. Oh, I need a new window. There we go. I need a new window. I want to get his wording right. Haven't heard from him. Haven't heard from my other sponsor. Yeah, I don't know how much he's got quite a response here, but I'm going to give the simple one. The interview date is not stated, and we always said he would remain the face. And both he and I actually, right after I did my video, and then we saw Midnight's Edge and others do video, I even mentioned the countdown clock is on for the CNET comicbook.com article. I was wrong. It was a Deadline Hollywood article, which is great. And then IO9. Doomcock tweeted out my favorite part of the interview, and we will go over that in a little bit about how Star Trek is getting younger. I don't know if I ever mentioned my little mini straw poll I did at my kid's junior high. When I went to go pick him up, and I saw him hanging out with a bunch of his friends. It was about 10 kids. And out of the 10 kids, none of them had heard of Star Trek. Now, my kid had, of course, but they were like, what's Star Trek? What's a Star Trek? So they got a long way to go. And I'm not in Podunk, America. I'm in a major metropolitan city. No disrespect to Podunk, America. I love Podunk, America. As a matter of fact, I wish I lived there right now instead of my poop-covered street, San Francisco. Will I am Bo. Will we become best friends at Vegas Star Trek? Yes. Are we best friends right now? Yes, we will. I will be at Star Trek Las Vegas. Look for the guy with the beard and the Justice for Anas t-shirt. That will be me. But apparently there's a lot of people going. I think there's a Vegas crew. I've heard this. We have some other YouTubers going. So hopefully we can all get together and have some fun. I am taking my entire family, though. So I've got both my sons are coming, and Mrs. Nerdrotic will be there. I got to bring my muscle. So she will be my muscle. Eric, thank you very much, by the way. I am Bo for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. And what's this? Wicked Mudsuit. God, these names. You got to tell me how to pronounce these names. I am so sorry if I destroy them, but Wicked So it's either Wick Edmagetsu for $1. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, I just got something. So Insider, can I say tell me what I can say on the live stream, because I don't want to get you in trouble. But he is currently messaging me right now. Yeah, and we will not be screen sharing that. We will not be screen sharing that. I think Doom cock blocked has been replaced by my lightsaber went off in my face as my new synonym for someone screwed up. But thank you. Oh, the Shatner situation. Okay. A lot of you have been asking about the Shatner situation. So I know as much as you guys do. I know I was live streaming when Doomcock was live streaming when that all went down. So I've tried to keep up with the Twitter thread, but if I'm not following everybody, as you guys know, I'm only seeing pieces of stuff that flows up and down. So all I know is there is a possibility of raising $30,000 or more, maybe, to get Doomcock to interview Shatner on his channel. If I have any of this wrong, please let me know. But I fully support my friend Doomcock in all things. And I think he would be the absolute best person to interview Shatner out of all of us. I know some other names were suggested. I think it should just be Doomcock. That's me. I am not the arbiter of the internet nor the boss of anything, though. That's just my opinion. Because honestly, I think he'd be the best interview, and I think it would be hilarious if William Shatner was interviewed by somebody named Doomcock. Don't you think that'd be funny? That'd be funny and great. And also, Doomcock, honestly, amongst all of us in the Fandom Menace, I could be wrong about this. I don't think I am, though, has the most Star Trek knowledge. I think his encyclopedic Star Trek knowledge is second to none. So I defer to Doomcock, and that's well, you can phrasing. But yes, I think that would be done great. Sorry for that. I clap a lot. I should warn you guys, just in case somebody's like later listening in their car or something like that. I got to stop doing that. I get very enthusiastic. I do. So as far as the Kurtzman thing, though, nobody ever said fired is not a word. That was too strong of a word that my insider used, but I think it was more of a description. But my insider did use that term. I did not. I used done. Is he done? So my mind hasn't changed. The only time we're going to really know if I was wrong or my insider was wrong, and listen, it's just my opinion. I'm passing on what other people say. Now, I have been accused by many of being a liar on Twitter. And that's fine. I don't care. I mean, I don't really see a lot of this. Ooh, whoops. Sorry. I don't see a lot of when people throw stuff at me on Twitter. Honestly, you're wasting your time. I don't see half of it, honestly. But if if it makes you feel better, go ahead. I don't block anybody on Twitter. So, well, I block a couple people, but I mean, that's because they got personal. But calling me a liar and stuff, whatever. I can't lie about my opinion. But as far as the Kurtzman thing, we'll see. We'll see when we see Star Trek Discovery Season 3, when we see Section 31, when we see the Section 31 TV show. But let me just lay some stuff that we do know already. We know. So Kurtzman signed a 5-year deal. He was pretty much the Kevin Feige. And then 4 months later, Van Citters came in. Van Citters, by all accounts, have you noticed I've never said anything critical about Van Citters? Because by all accounts, this guy's a real Trekkie and a real Trekker. And I think it's very positive to have him there. So I'm all for him being there. Michelle Paradise is co-show running, but I think she'll slowly become more of the face of Star Trek Discovery if we see a season 3. I think she's totally underqualified to be a Star Trek running a Star Trek show. I think she's completely qualified to run a TV show. She's done it before, but I think Star Trek and science fiction, completely different beast. So I think we will just get more of the same. So I don't think whether Kurtzman's fired or not, as long as they're going to use the Star Trek JJ aesthetic, we're going to get more of the same. We're going to get more of Star Trek made by people who don't really know Star Trek, don't really love Star Trek. They might love it now because it's their job, but not a lifelong passion, like, say, a Mark Zickery and others. And it shows through your work. I just did a video on Miguel Sapochnik's interview, who I have a lot of respect for. The guy is honestly, if there's a lot of franchises he could go to and save with his talent, just with his talent, even though he's come out and said he doesn't really like shooting battles. Well, for somebody who doesn't like shooting battles, holy crap. For the most part, he shoots some pretty good battles. So imagine if he's into something. But if you're not into something, it shows. And I think with the long night, he was clearly tired. I think everybody was tired, and I think it really showed. So if you're really not 100% into something, it bleeds through onto the screen, onto your work. And hey, I know not everything in Hollywood you can't have the perfect fan. But if you really want it to work, there are people who exist outside your inner circles, and that's what we're fighting here. The Hollywood gatekeeping, it's never going to go away. I mean, I'm stating fact. I'm stating the obvious. It's part of what we do here on YouTube. Is yes, they're practicing inclusivity and diversity, but you notice it's all their friends. So it's just still inner circles. Once you're out of one of these inner circles, you're out, and you got to kiss a lot of ass to get back in, kiss a lot of rings, and a lot of other things. I don't think that's changed at all. I also, in my JJ video, I talked about how there's a power shift going on in Hollywood, which we will discuss, that I believe, in my opinion, this might be controversial to some and might be obvious to others, that the person who was married to one of the people who spearheaded the Time's Up movement is all of a sudden signing the biggest deal in the history of Hollywood, or maybe one of the bigger deals. I don't know, but it's a damn big deal. It's a $500 million. And this is a multi-millionaire, possibly. I don't know. Is JJ a billionaire? What's JJ worth? We'll just say 100 millionaire. He's got to be 100 millionaire. So let's just say he doesn't need it. But if he's worth it, that's fine. I don't think he is. But there's a lot of power shifting going on because of the streaming wars. And this is why they will never outright fire Kurtzman, which I stated in my video, and I'll stay right now, but he will lose power, in my opinion. Other people, he'll maybe remain the face or not, or I don't know. But it's not going to change Star Trek Discovery, because it's just a bad show. If we want to talk about on the merits of the show, it's a bad show. So I am been quietly working on a video, which is very Mahler style. It's inspired by my friend Mahler. I don't think he'll ever watch Star Trek Discovery, although I don't know, maybe he should. He's got a lot of work to do. I want to give him more work to do, but it would be, honestly, Mahler, would be guaranteed content for you forever. So I kind of think you should. But so I'm going over Star Trek Discovery season 2, and it's going to be basically an edit of I'm going to watch it so you don't have to. So I'm playing with the idea of just breaking down the plot and explaining the plot to you without any opinion, and see how that flies. Because I've done it so far, and I think it's pretty interesting when I'm just explaining what happens in the show without any opinion whatsoever. I think it's actually worse than giving opinion. If you just explain what happens on the screen. So yeah, it's pretty funny. So there's a lot going on, but the funniest thing is that I'm in a room in my house in San Francisco, very modest. Okay, yes, I own a home in San Francisco, but believe me, it's as modest as you can get here. I was lucky enough to get in to a neighborhood that wasn't great. Okay, it was not a great neighborhood. It's turned into a pretty nice neighborhood over the last 10 years, so I got lucky. But yeah, just modest guy, middle class, just living my life. I'm not really about collecting lots of money. I like stuff. I like my collectibles, but I don't even get like super expensive collectibles. I like weird stuff that I can afford. But modest living, $109 Brio camera. And I know Jeremy said this, a $150 microphone, 3-year-old Mac, a lava lamp, and some action figures. And I somehow, with others, it's not just me. Believe me, it's Midnight's Edge, Mecha, Doomcock, of course, Midnight's Edge After Dark, We got the attention of $1 billion company. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. I don't think we're shifting their opinions. I think they hate us, and that's fine. I don't care. The feeling, I don't hate any of them, by the way. I don't. I thoroughly dislike their work. I thoroughly dislike their work. I thoroughly dislike. The only thing I come close to really, it's super irritating, is the agenda and being put into the franchise, because it's simply put, it's the franchise taking a side. For one, that doesn't sell you anything. It splits fandoms, and we have just seen time after time, example after example after example of split fandoms. So I was thinking really hard before I started this. I'm like, what's an example of a really good, healthy fandom? And it doesn't have to be big. So I would have to say the Orville, the Expanse are two fandoms that are admittedly very small, but full of nothing but love. There's no whatever fighting there is maybe it's getting a detail wrong in the book. The only time you'll hear an Expanse fan spike up is if I get some detail wrong in the book because I didn't remember something absolutely perfectly. And that's fine. I can handle that. That's great. I love that kind of a debate because, hey, I make mistakes. But those are examples of brilliant fandoms. Why? Because the people who run the franchises just simply, you can tell they're having fun and they're not divisive. Some of them are outside. I can really ignore that. I don't follow celebrities on Twitter. I think I might follow William Shatner. I definitely follow Seth. But unless I followed one 10 years ago and completely forgot, I don't actively follow celebrities. I don't care. I'd rather follow. So they're not actively, because maybe the fandoms are small. I don't know. Whatever the reason is, those are perfectly healthy, fun fandoms where it's just fun to hang out in. Game of Thrones, until it started sucking, was the best example of a great fandom. Some people might question that, but I loved it. There's definitely a split within it, between like A Song of Ice and Fire Reddit and the Free Folk Reddit. I was more of the Free Folk side. I like, slinging a little shit and having a little fun, but it was still a pretty fun fandom to hang out in. There's a lot of lore to go over, and that's actually my favorite thing to do. I love debating lore, and that's what Doctor Who is so good at too. It used to be, but now Doctor Who has digressed into a political debate, a partisan political debate, because Doctor Who made a distinct decision, made a conscious decision to take one side politically. And that is the death of your TV show every single time, because I can tell you right now, when you hear, for one, don't ever take anything on face value from a YouTuber, and especially from the Access Media and people who are mouthpieces for giant corporations. It's funny that Tolkien, created the Mouth of Sauron. I don't know what he had in mind, but that certainly is public relations firms now, is the Mouth of Sauron. So don't take anything they say at face value. To address the liar thing, I get passed on information from an insider. I don't make any of this up. I don't care that much. I love passing on innuendo, rumor, and hearsay. It's fun. But I also state as much. And that's it, because I don't want to get sued, and because it's not true. I don't know if 100% if it's a fact. But I think they didn't like how when the information of Kurtzman possibly being done got received so much joy from the fandom. I think that might have irked him a little bit. That tells you everything you need to know. So you are not a resounding success at all. I am not a resounding success. If I go out, if I want to sell something like I got my Vortex thing here. So my widget. So this is from my Big Finish. I got my Vortex thing. And if I want to sell these things, but I'm going to go, no Vortex fan would equal being a conservative or a Republican. Or a liberal or a progressive. You use either one. You just alienated half your fan base. And why you would say that stuff out loud, what emboldens you to do that stuff? Like Marina Sirtis Like, listen, she's partisan. I'm sorry. She's a dumb actress, just like there's dumb actors. I don't think, um, I'll just say actors, I think, especially when actors get older, it seems like they get a little mad. Probably because there's a point in your life where you've pretended to be so many things, or your career didn't go where you thought it would, and fame is fleeting, and you get your entire existence wrapped up into being, a thing, and then that makes you hate that thing because that's all you're known for. And yeah, that could be hard on a human being. I understand that. But to come out and say what she said about one side of the aisle, I mean, I bet you even CBS cringed on that one. They went, ugh, that's going a little bit too far. That's going a little bit too far. Okay, we're going to get to a couple super chats here. I'm going to get to the chat. That was kind of like my monologue. Hello, everybody. There is a lot of you here. First of all, let me show you. Yeah, well, okay. So, yeah, while I'm shifting around here, this is Parrot Analytics. Parrot Analytics, honestly, I'd never heard of them until Midnight's Edge brought them up. So, and what they do is they gather data. Okay, by the way, I'm just generalizing, not all of this is just as much as I know. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. What they do is they judge the popularity of a show based on how many times it's shared on social media. I don't know which social media they cover. I don't know if it's just Facebook or Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, everything, YouTube. I don't know, but I imagine it's some of the bigger ones. So in other words, when I do a Star Trek Discovery review, ripping it for a half an hour, that's counted as a click, a view, an intro. I don't know what they call it, an engagement maybe. Well, Star Trek Discovery was as high as number 4 on this list while it was airing. Okay. And then it has now disappeared completely from the list. All right. So, and listen, the one thing Star Trek Discovery does right, yes, you can record this. The one thing they do right is being released weekly. I think a lot of other shows should learn from that. DC streaming is doing it, but apparently, even my argument isn't helping these streaming services. So, Titans, which aired long before Star Trek Discovery and ended before Star Trek Discovery began, and honestly, isn't much better than Star Trek Discovery, in my opinion. It's got a couple of decent episodes, and it's got potential, okay, but it's not much better than Star Trek Discovery, in my opinion. I think Doom Patrol is a much better show, and I think Swamp Thing eclipses them both. Has been on this list for months. Stranger Things hasn't aired in over a year, been on the top of this list for months. We got Black Mirror on top now. I've never heard of When They See Us. Lucifer, Mrs. Nerdrotic absolutely adores that show, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it. Good Omens, I wish that was higher. Good Omens was pretty good. I'll give it a pretty good. Cobra Kai should be on the top, in my opinion. It is clearly the best. But Swamp Thing, I'm so happy to see Swamp Thing there. But this list is BS. It's absolute BS. So Swamp Thing is canceled, and it is now above Star Trek Discovery. Doom Patrol, I hope it's not canceled. The problem is it just didn't get the traction that Titans get. Titans, I believe, will survive on the Warner Brothers streaming service. That's just my opinion. I have nothing to back that up. But I want Swamp Thing to survive because, folks, Swamp Thing is a great show. Mrs. Nerdrotic just watched the first 3 episodes. She absolutely adored it, loved it, was singing its praises, like couldn't believe, because her and I don't see eye to eye on everything. Okay, believe it or not. I review this with John F. Trent from Bounding into Comics. He loves it. Everybody, please try to check out the show. It's worth the few bucks you pay. I know there's so many. You know what? Cancel your CBS All Access, pick up DC streaming, and watch Swamp Thing. It's much better than a lot of things. It's much better. Let me get over to. I don't want. I got to be very careful with that. Okay. Make sure I don't share the wrong screen. Um, oh wow. Now I don't like John Van Sitters. Wow, you want to hear the biggest turnaround? According to my insiders, it was John Van Sitters who created the fan film guidelines, and it was his idea to go after fan films. So you know what, John Van Sitters, I don't like you anymore. I don't like you. Okay, so Shatner blocked Doomcock when Isaacs started hating on. He did. Doomcock went to the rescue, which he should have. Shat just blocked everyone. I understand that. I do. I do. I'm glad Shatner unblocked him. I thought it was clever how he figured it out. And my insider is absolutely standing behind his statement, not backing down one effing bit. And that's why I love my insider. You got my insider says he was fired, not a description. Oh, Netflix is saying no. So Netflix is continuing to say no. And I think that is the best evidence of all. I think that is the best evidence of all. That the one thing my insider's been telling me from the get-go is Netflix isn't happy. I think it's partially because of the Anas Abdeen lawsuit, and I think it is really I think it's part of the Anas Abdeen I'm getting messages while I'm live streaming. It's part of the Netflix the Anas Abdeen lawsuit, which is a fact. That lawsuit has not gone away. It's funny how that's not gone away, and we're going to do a little review of that in a little bit. That's the one point. So let's get to the super chats right here. Jeff McKelvey, who has who made this 3dtrekker.com. 3dtrekker.com. There you go. Check that. Oh, I lost my base there. All right. Jeff McKelvey says, have a cup of Joe on me. Gary, love you, man. Love you too, Jeff. Thank you for the $5. I greatly appreciate it. Eric K. And by the way, do 3dtrekker.com. He does great work. Great work. He did this too. He did that. Eric K, $2. Yo, Gary, let's kick this off right with a super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. And let's kick it off right. Elliot Nelson, $10. Hail Nerdrotic. I've been trying to catch up on your live streams, but your content output is prolific. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. I feel like I've kind of slowed down. Am I putting out too much? I don't know. I took the weekend off, but I've been doing stuff on other people's channels. So yeah, and I was completely wiped out. I couldn't even make a video yesterday. After EFAP, I was done. I was EFAP'd. And again, okay, a wicked mug. Wicked Mug Getsu for $1. Thank you very much. Eric K, $5. Hope you're involved in the Shatner interview if it happens. Hey, the only thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. The only involvement I would have is to help raise some money to get Doomcock on. I think Doomcock should be the one interviewing Shatner. And any way I could help, just I've already messaged him to let me know if there's any way I could help. But we got to there's a little confusion right now. So we got to get that straightened out. And once that's straightened out, yeah, I'll plug it once I know what to plug. Yeah. Will and both, thank you very much. We will become best friends in Vegas. Bradman, $2. I want a best friend. Well, we're all best friends in here. I mean, you know, my wife's my best friend. I don't know, like best friend. All your friends should be your best friend. We're not in junior high. We can have friends and they're all the best. That just means you favor one over the other. I don't know if I want to do that. Jeff McKelvey, thank you again for the $5. John Arkaki for $2. Auntie gives his regards. Regrets? Not sure. Anti-Trekker? The Anti-Trekker? I'm assuming that's the Anti-Trekker. Well, hello, Anti-Trekker. He's been having some trouble over there. I sent him a message, but he didn't get back to me. The Big Red Bear, Canadian $5. He makes movies that don't stand up. He burns franchises down. In the long run, he's an overrated hack. They're killing these franchises. Disgusting, says Big Red Bear, Canadian $5. I could not agree more. The thing is, forget the rumor and innuendo. Let's look at the finished product. Name me a J.J. Abrams classic, one that will be remembered in 100 years. What will J.J. Abrams be remembered for in 100 years? Being a very savvy businessman who really didn't make very good content. Some mediocre stuff occasionally. It looked pretty good. I thought he was on a trajectory of like, to the stars. I thought he was going to be great, but it turns out not the case. Now, is he distracted? And I think that might be it. Maybe he gets distracted by too many things. He can't concentrate on one thing. And, that's part of the deal. Spielberg had a lot of distractions too, but he could concentrate and make something. Is whether you like Spielberg now or not, you can't argue that no single person has made more classics. The 80s, he defined the 80s. And Spielberg was a nerd god for so long. Are you down for next Thursday? I am, Tharis. I am. Shoot me a time. I can do a couple hours. No problem. Matt, thank you for the $2. I greatly appreciate it. I'd love to talk Doctor Who with you. Thanks for all the great work. You are the only YouTuber I follow that is talking about The Expanse. I love the show. Matt R. Wow, there's nobody else is talking. There's got to be somebody else talking about it. Really? I know Doomcock talks about it once in a while. Yeah. For $5. And Doomcock and I will be covering The Expanse extensively once we hear some news. Some news, please. How about a trailer? How about a teaser? I think it would be good to have something. Maybe they're waiting for Comic-Con. I don't know if they're going to be at Comic-Con. I haven't checked. By the way, it's way back here. Comic-Con. I will be there. And it looks like I will not be alone. More on that later. Some plans are going down. It's going to be fun. And that's only a month away. And then it's Star Trek Las Vegas after that. So I'm looking forward to the summer. This is the time of year where I want to get the hell out of San Francisco because it's like foggy all the time. And I grew up in San Diego where it's kind of summer year round. Kind of used to it. But thank you, Matt R, for the $5. I greatly appreciate it. Night Wish Fan 1991, $10. There's a channel called Dragon Demands. Great channel. He covers Game of Thrones. Yes, I'm aware of him a lot. And I was wondering if you could have him on a live stream. He has a lot of insight into Benioff. Yeah, if he reaches out to me, Gary at nerdrotic.com or DM me on Twitter. I'll go. Is he on Twitter? I'll follow him. And he could send me a message. Sure. I'll talk to anybody. I'll go on anybody's live stream. If I have time, I will talk to pretty much anybody and go on pretty much anybody's live stream. I mean, like, unless you're like some weird fundamentalist or something like that, but otherwise I'll go on your live stream. And maybe even if you're a weird fundamentalist, I don't care. If you want to talk about The Expanse, that's great. Art Fusco for $2. Parrot Analytics call them demand expressions. Wow, that sounds like some brilliant corporate speak there. Let's invent some vague, nebulous term that sounds like it means something but really doesn't. Listen, Hollywood is full of suckers. Okay, it's just full of suckers. It is. There's so many people willing to forego their common sense and their good business practice for attention and the ability to look good at all times. And the only reason Hollywood survives is there's just so much freaking money flowing around there that you can afford to have a bunch of idiots running something and it would almost be successful. Tom Rothman running another studio after he practically ran Fox into the ground is astounding. So we are in the Me Too Time's Up diversity inclusive era, and freaking Tom Rothman is running another studio? How does that even happen? I mean, he is widely known as the biggest curmudgeon when it comes to genre, which is the biggest thing right now. So Sony is doomed as long as that guy's involved. And this is right on the heels of Amy Pascal, who was probably better than he was. Yikes. And just think of all the really talented people out of work because they won't schmooze the right butt. The Price is Right review for $2. Kapla, Gary, I hope your day is going well, my man. It is going fantastic. It is really going fantastic. Having the time of my life. The YouTube channel is kicking ass, and the plans behind the scenes are kicking ass. Now, I'm going to be doing a GoFundMe for my comic shop, but I'm going to wait and see until we have the Shatner thing going, because that's a lot of, I mean, we don't, I just don't want to distract that in any way, shape, or form. I'd rather have the charity take priority. I can wait a month before we get the funding going and stuff, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But I'm going to wait for the Shatner thing to happen before I roll out my GoFundMe, because, oh, and there's a, damn it. Oh, I'm so bad at this. So that'll be in a month. Give me just a second, because I promised my boy Doug Ernst that I would promote his Indiegogo. I hope it's not done. I know it was just like a 14 hours left. Doug, man, I'm sorry. I was meant to do this. I meant to do this Monday. Okay, here it is. It's I got to find the link to it. It's Soul Finder. He did a comic called Soul Finder, and it looks really good. And I believe it's with Tim Lim. And there it is right there. And we are getting the link for this. There we go. So this is an Indiegogo campaign, and this is Doug Ernst, who Doug Ernst is like old school Comicsgate guy, and a channel I've been paying attention to for a couple of years now. Very level-headed guy. I like him a lot. Apparently he lives over here on the West Coast. So hopefully he and I can get together sometime. Okay, so here we go. Soul Finder Demons Match. A major order of exorcist, all combat veterans, battle evil that most people cannot fathom. By Douglas Ernst. And let's go. Let's get to the overview here. Whoops. God damn, I have too many windows up. Overview. The comic book industry once had men who strived for the ideal, solid art and compelling storytelling that tackled the classic hero's journey with heart and soul. Mainstream comics in 2019 sadly offer sad shadows of what used to be. Unprofessional creators care less about telling tales of good versus evil, and they do more. Than they do about deconstructing cultural icons. Soul Finder Demons Match is a rejection of that embarrassing status quo and call for the return of serious storytelling. Man, that doesn't pull any punches. People have wondered for ages, why do bad things happen to good people? That is exactly what Father Patrick Retter, a Catholic priest who was wounded in combat during his youth, is asked at the start of Soul Finder Demons Match. And it's the question he must grapple with after he becomes involved in a series of supernatural events. Look at that art. That's freaking wow. So here it is. I'm going to pop the link in my chat. You can read more about it. So, but I promised him I would do that. And there. So that is Doug's Indiegogo. If you're interested, we really want to try to support independent comic creators who want to just tell stories. And it's not necessarily, it's traditional storytelling, but it's still done in a modern way. It's not like it's regressive storytelling. This is just a trip back to fun and thrilling, which is all we really want out of a story. And you know what? We're starting to get from these independent creators, and support as many of them as you can. I know a lot of people throw a lot of things at you, but a couple bucks here and there, really helps us change things. This is the only way we're going to enact change. Hit them in the wallet and basically, what's the good term? Sometimes words fly out of my head, but I divert the dollars that would normally go to something that you feel like you have to. And I've done this too. Habitually spend money on the comic book industry, the mainstream comic book industry, because you are a completist. I was a completist. I did the same thing. Break the cycle. Break the cycle. Divert your dollars to somebody who would appreciate you as a fan, who somebody you can connect with. You can connect with Doug. You can message Doug. He'll get right back to you. Yeah, and I just made a promise for him now, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so very good. Very good. Where was I? Back to the super chats. And then we're going to get to the Doctor Who stuff. There's somebody was kind enough to send me a graph that pretty much tells the whole story of Doctor Who. So good on you, mate. Good, Doug. It looks awesome. And I will back it on Friday. I will back it on Friday myself. If it's too late, well, then I'll just give you some money. How's that sound? All right, Elliot Nelson for 2.99 super chats, just because. Thank you very much, Elliot. And it's good to see you, my friend. Elliot always asks the question, and it's a good one to ask. It's a good one. It's one I have to ask myself every day. It's like, how long is this going to go on? How long are we going to have this fight? How long are we going to take on this uphill battle of regressive partisan bullshit, for lack of a better term, being injected into our franchises and our entertainment? Well, I think we're starting to see the breakaway with I think everything that happened in comic books was a precursor to what was about to happen in television and film. So what did comic books do? Comic books, instead of changing when they could have just simply not been political. That's all they had to do, was not be overtly political. So, you know what? Control yourself. Control yourself. Nobody needs to know your every single thought on every political issue if you're a comic book creator, but we do like your art and your storytelling. But every time you waste time on Twitter, and it's your own life to waste, that's time not being spent on paying your bills, making people happy. And then when you call the reaction to that, because it's simply a reaction, what we are is a reaction. When you call the reaction divisive, and it was a reaction for what you guys started, and then you waste more time, you're just going to go broke, because the reaction, we will eventually go away, and then you're dead. Not physically dead. I mean, like, dead as in your career is dead. Your bills are dead. Your income is dead. That's what I mean. Linus 2014 Cougar for $2. Hands down, Nolan will be more remembered than JJ. Yes, Nolan's an actual filmmaker. Nolan is an auteur. He is great at what he does. I don't love every one of his films, but he is distinctly unique in what he does. He's really old school, and I respect the hell out of him. I think some Nolan films can get a little boring. My favorite story to tell is Insomnia. I saw Insomnia with my wife, and there was a guy snoring like louder than you could possibly imagine in the middle of Insomnia, and the entire theater erupted in laughter because it was so well timed, because it was right around the third act, when Al Pacino's character had been up for a couple, 3-4 days, and all of a sudden you hear the snoring. It was just perfectly timed. Richard Weffis, Gary, please don't break up with Geeks and Gamers. Why would I? Who's breaking up with Geeks and Gamers? Yeah, I don't even know where that comes from. No, I love Jeremy. As a matter of fact, I spoke with him today on Twitter DMs. But yeah, I love freaking Jeremy. My love for Jeremy is unconditional. How does 12 p.m. your time sound? Can't wait to come on. That's good. That's actually pretty good. So a week from tomorrow, I'll be on Thari's channel at noon. Thank you for the £2, my friend. Noon my time, noon Pacific Standard Time, which I believe is, I don't know where you are, Thari's, Europe. So 8 p.m. your time, 7, 8, 9, something like that. Stanfordson for $5. JJ will be remembered for shining a flashlight in people's faces down the lens flare. That's what he will be remembered for. He will also be remembered for taking Hollywood for $500 million because they're a bunch of goddamn suckers. I can't even blame them. Can you? I mean, really. I honestly, I don't know why it doesn't get brought up more often. How he gained so much power. So, Star Trek. His work on Star Trek was an independent contract, even though he had an office at Paramount. It might have been just leased office because he was an independent contract. So his Star Trek work was independent and done at Paramount. At least that's what I've heard. But he's also working on Star Wars. So and this is what he does. He'll start something, get distracted by another project, leave his people in power, go to that project, which could be for a competing company. And everywhere he goes, what he does, it's like a virus. He leaves behind some of his people. I mean, you notice this? And all of a sudden, his people are freaking everywhere. So this woman who's going to take over some job at Lucasfilm has worked for Bad Robot. Alex Kurtzman has worked for Bad Robot with JJ. There is that's in the big stuff. Even in other littler projects, you see Bad Robot people just showing up everywhere. So everywhere JJ goes, he leaves behind a few of his people, and maybe he's just helping his friends get work. But what better way? So JJ now works at Warner Brothers, probably are they the biggest competition for Disney as far as studios are concerned? That's the way I see it. So Warner Brothers, biggest competition to Disney. He now works quote unquote exclusively for them. I don't know how exclusive, but he's still working on Star Wars with Disney. And then his friend is heading Lucasfilm while his friend is running Star Trek. Now, JJ's deal was with Paramount. Paramount has only licensed Star Trek from CBS. I have no idea when that ends. So the Quentin Tarantino movie, in my opinion, never going to happen. Okay. Remember when Quentin Tarantino was going to direct the Bond film? Y'all remember that from the 90s? Was a rumor out there for like a decade. Yeah, it's the same thing. When it comes to rolling around, and when the studio suits find out that maybe they just know him by name or know him by reputation, but I just can't see Quentin Tarantino running a property for studio suits. He would have to make so many compromises, and I just don't think he's into compromises. That's my opinion. So I think if it does get made, it would probably have his name on it as a writer, as a producer. I can't see him writing and directing a Star Trek. I would love it. I would watch it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So JJ's just got people everywhere now. And I get dumbfounded, and I know the bottom line, but there's some point where people have got to realize that this guy is like death for your franchise. He's death for your friend. Look at Star Trek. The Star Trek movies were complete failures. Yes, one of them made money, and then he burned out the franchise. So he went for broke, rolled all the dice, burned out the franchise. We've got this hollow shell that's on behind a paywall that I'm sure so many kids are going to see. Time will tell on this. It sucks. We got to be patient with this, but the people will come around. And sometimes some people, when it comes to artistic taste and stuff, are just a little ahead of others. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, I like some garbage too. But at least that garbage kind of knows it's garbage and it embraces it. Like, I love Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. It's a terrible movie, but I love it because it embraces its badness. And Nicolas Cage plays like this manic meth head. I think it's genius. I think it's absolute genius. Your content is amazing, Gary. Thank you, Paola RL. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Matt R, $5. I saw you on EFAP. Congrats, but don't get EFAP'd out. Those things last forever and they can take a lot out of you. Man, they can. That's why I have a lot of respect for Wolf and Rags and Waller, of course. Tons of respect for those guys. Hang on. I got to check my Twitter real quick. Because I know I sent out a invite, but I didn't give it. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I just had to check messages in the middle of my live stream. I did throw out an invite, but I haven't heard a response yet. So, thank you for the kind words. It's fun what we're doing. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun, kind of poking the bear, and then responding. It's shocking. It's utterly shocking. But that's the thing, is it's not me, it's you guys. It's not Midnight's Edge, it's you guys. It's your response to these things that really have them bothered, like to the core, to the point where they have to blink. And Disney had to get Rotten Tomatoes to change their rules. YouTube changed their algorithm. They're making up stories like it's Russian trolls downvoting a movie. And these are the people who call out Alex Jones, by the way. The same people who call out Alex Jones believe that Boris and Natasha are Natasha. Please give me some vodka. I need to downvote the Captain Marvel. Okay. Yes, there are data hacking whatever centers everywhere. How come we never hear about China? Because they hack more of our computers daily than anybody, and Mexico, and probably some in Canada. I mean, like, it's complete bullshit. All right. It's a narrative to muddy the waters. It's misinformation. Sure, there's some bots. Yes, absolutely. Captain Marvel was a bad movie that did well. But more importantly, you're seeing like Men in Black and Dark Phoenix fail miserably. While I don't think Hollywood is too worried right now, they should be. They should absolutely be worried. Now, I don't think in any time or era either of those movies would have done well. They were bad movies. But if you look at the box office, the only things that are doing well are MCU and a remake of an animated film. I guess Aladdin's doing well. That's something I would never see and not care about. But that's not healthy. It's not a healthy industry right now. So they're kind of freaking out a little bit. And the reason, again, that they can't overtly fire anybody in these streaming services, or honestly, it was astonishing that they canceled Swamp Thing so out loud out in the open. Because it really was a black eye for your streaming service. And that's why they can't do it. They are in a life and death battle. I was working in Hollywood when the set-top box thing was coming up, and they freaked out over that. And that was like useless. That was like an utter waste of time, and probably buried Technicolor as a company. I mean, they're still around, but they used to be a player, and they're not much of a player anymore. And I think they had to close their Burbank offices. And I remember when I got there, they were outsourcing. By the way, I know I'm going all over the place, but yeah, don't unionize gaming industry and post-production industry, or they will outsource your job faster than you can say union. So they hired me at Technicolor while they were outsourcing half the work to Bangalore, India, and then spending $4 million in a downtown Hollywood office. I mean, yeah, they're dumb as hell. I mean, really, there's a bunch of smart people. There's like, well, not a bunch. There's a group of smart people surrounded by walls and walls of idiots. Chris Stanley, hail Gary at Nerdrotic. Always love the live streams. Good luck with your shop, man. Thank you very much. So the shop, yes, the shop is going to be, for lack of a better term, I've said it before, it's kind of like, it's my backup. It's my mug club. It's going to be something that allows me to do this no matter what YouTube does in the future. I want to keep the content running, and I don't want to run off YouTube. I honestly don't. I mean, I'll branch out in other things, but I'm going to stay here. And yeah, and live and die here. Jen Eric, Canadian $5. Speaking of doomed, check out Doom Patrol. Great villain. His outfit has the same dog tooth pattern as my favorite dress. Says generic. The comic book. I haven't. Isn't the comic book written by? Oh God, that singer. I'm blanking on his name now. Who created Umbrella Academy? Jeff McKelvey for $5. I sent you an email regarding the 3D printing charity items as well as info on the enterprise model you asked about. Yes, hit me up when you can. Thanks. I will. Thank you, Jeff McKelvey. Yeah, I got to check out the Doom Patrol comic, the new one. I do. I actually do. But I'm rereading the old Doom Patrol, and I love the show. I thought the show was pretty good. There's a couple episodes that kind of checked me out, but after that, it was fine. And I thought it ended pretty well. But Swamp Thing is better. Swamp Thing is upper tier television. It's damn near got the Nerdrotic seal of approval. So shows that have the Nerdrotic seal of approval are The Orville, The Expanse, Venture Brothers, Castlevania, Legion, and I'm really close to saying the Swamp Thing. Very, very close to saying Swamp Thing. Those are shows. Oh, and The Tick. And The Tick. Those are shows that I can promise you pretty much everybody would like them if you tried them. The Swamp Thing is freaking badass in every way. As a matter of fact, boop. I've been reading some Swamp Thing stuff. Obion 27883 for $5. Gary, what's the plans for the comic shop? Are you planning trying to be exclusive Comic Skate and Friends Taylor? Strike any deals? It's still early on. The plans are to not sell any new floppies, any new funny books. I will sell new trades. I will not sell anything by Mark Waid. Nothing. I'm not going to give that guy any money ever. So no big loss there, but there's some certain big comics that I won't be selling because they have his name on it. I'll sell them used, but I will not sell them brand new. I will buy somebody else's and resell it, no problem. But I will not give that guy a red cent. But yeah, so the new floppies I would sell would be Indiegogo stuff for sure. Yes. And I will, once I get the kind of the infrastructure going, the website going, I will reach out to some of these independent creators. Some don't even know who the hell I am. So they'll be like, who the hell are you? And I'll see if we could strike a deal. And if we can, cool. If we can't, cool. I'll still, publicize their work for them though. It's not anything. The cool thing about the shop, and eventually it's going to be brick and mortar, but it doesn't need to be something that has to pay my bills. It just has to break even basically. And I can pretty much run anything that'll break even. But I want to do a lot of vintage toys and stuff like that. And then eventually if we do the brick and mortar, we can like do the show from there. And it'll be fun. That was the plan all along. To be honest with you, that was my plan all along. And I kind of sidelined the shop because I don't know if I really want to open a brick and mortar. Well, I don't want to open one here in San Francisco. I've already done that. And it's like an utter waste of money. There's other places I can go and get cheaper rent or hopefully buy the building. That would be my hope. William Winters, $2. Hello from home, from the hospital with my new baby girl. Oh, William Winters is a dad. So close to Father's Day too. Congratulations, William. If you want, stemming from yesterday's EFAP, will you name the baby the Dawn? Just consider it. Just consider it. Anybody out there who's pregnant, consider naming your kid the Dawn. You would make the EFAP crew very happy, and me too. But congratulations, William. Thank you for being here on such a even thinking about me on such a special day. Your life has changed forever. All right. I don't know if you haven't had a kid before and this is your first kid. The best way to explain having your first kid is like something in your life locks into place that you didn't know you had. Like something like there's like like as you're growing up, you're trying to find meaning in life. You're always, self-discovery and all that crap. It's like something locks into place and you go, oh, now I've got purpose. Not saying it's for everybody, because it's not. It's certainly not. But for some people it is. And it was kind of like, that's what I've been missing in my life. Because, Mrs. Nerdrotic and I, we knew each other when we were young, and we never wanted kids. We're like, kids, kids are stupid. What? They're needy, they're smelly, they want food all the time, and they completely cramp this lifestyle I want to have. Well, Mrs. Nerdrotic had the best explanation for why you should have kids. If you have the opportunity, again, not for everybody. I'm not telling you should have kids and you're not cool if you don't. That's not the case at all. It's living life to the fullest. We like to live life to the fullest. And what better way to live life to the fullest than add some more life? Hiroshi Scorer for 50 Mexican dollars. Sorry if it's off topic. There is no off topic on the Nooner. Everything's on the table. Is it true that Endgame will re-release with post-credit scene? Cheers. Yes, it is true. That news hit today, and I was going to talk about it. I'm going to get to a couple more super chats, and then we're going to go to the MCU retconning. We got to talk about Brie. We got to talk about a lot of stuff. So yes, Endgame is going to re-release sooner than later. I think it's 2 weeks with the post-credit ed scene, and they are going after Avatar, and I am all for this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see it. I will go back twice to help it defeat the god-awful Avatar. I don't like that movie. I never understood why people like that movie. It was pretty, and it was annoying as hell, and yeah. And I like James Cameron. I do. I pretty much like, including Titanic, everything he had done up until then. Yes. This is a good. So thank you. Yes, it is true. And I'm glad. I'm completely happy for that. Christian Basil for $5. Gary, love for you to come back on the show and talk Doctor Who and vice versa on your show, Legend of the Traveling TARDIS radio show, iHeart. Christian, yes, dude, I am sorry. So I have been overwhelmed with messages. As a matter of fact, I damn near missed I'll be able to tell you after tomorrow. I have a meeting tomorrow, a pretty gnarly, as a matter of fact, I can't check it right now. A pretty big meeting tomorrow. And yeah, because I don't know if I can say anything or not, but I almost missed it because I'm thankfully I have my family helping out with the messages now, and I'm starting to get more. But yeah, we can do it again. Let me know when you're available next week, Christian. You don't have to send a super chat. Just send me a text. Send me a text. You got my number. Thank you for the $5. All Out of Bubblegum, $2. I backed it, Gary. The story and art look fantastic. There you go, Doug. All Out of Bubblegum's got your back. All Out of Bubblegum, you're awesome. By the way, thank you for all the stuff you sent me. Oh, crap. We also have to do Toxic Mailbag, which is right down there. We'll have to do some of that. Don't you hate it when you get something on eBay and you get sent, here, an empty box? So FYI, when you're sending comic books media mail, you're not supposed to send comic books media mail because there's ads in them. And even if the ads are 20 or 30 years old, it's still breaking the rules. So also, media mail gets ripped off the most. That's why I stopped sending media mail for my comic store, because like about a third of my stuff was getting stolen inside the post office. Yeah, you heard me, effing post office. You have a bunch of fragging thieves working for you. So I get an empty box, which was supposed to be a box full of missing Swamp Thing comic books. So I got to tell the guy on eBay, I'm like, dude, and it sounds like I'm lying. It sounds like I'm trying to rip the guy off, and it's like, so I'm probably out some money because it's not that guy's fault. He clearly sent me a box with stuff in it. It shows the weight, and then the postman delivers an empty box. San Francisco. Escapism should be apolitical. We don't need or want it. Stop the brainwashing and just give us good stories and characters. Yes, Matt, you're right. $5 for $5. Thank you very much. And listen, they're trying to be coy. They being the writers and creators in Hollywood, they're trying to actually be coy with us, going, what? Remember when the mainstream media said for years that they were impartial, that they weren't partisan, and they finally come out, thankfully, and most of them have said they're partisan now because it's goddamn obvious. It's the same thing with the creators. They're lying to our face. And for one, if you got to lie about being partisan, you got to question yourself. All right. If you're partisan, fine, just freaking admit it. But by lying about it and people see through that, that's what's causing most of this stuff is lies. Lots of lies coming from our creators. And then questioning things like when fandoms are split. Oh, the fandom's not split, trying to minimize upset customers. Do that to your peril. I mean, do it to your peril. Listen, genre and comic books and superhero films and science fiction are a never-ending golden goose, but you have to work for it. We aren't a bunch of the normies. You don't have to work that hard for. You have to work hard for us. You do, and we are important because we're the ones who carry your stuff through the lean times. How many times have I said it? Like, who carries things? How did Star Trek become a thing in the first place? It was a canceled TV show because of hardcore fans. How did Doctor Who survive this long? Arguably, not even arguably, the very first fandom. Where Star Trek is America's first fandom, Doctor Who is the first fandom. There was kids down in Australia, in the UK, setting up their 16 millimeter cameras and putting it in front of the TV with no audio just to capture a few minutes of their favorite show and then going back and watching it just so they can feel a part of it. That is what a nerd makes. And John Van Sitter's in my insider's opinion, I don't know this for a fact, but people at CBS wanted to go after fan films, and they did. They shut it down. They shut down their fan base. Why? Because the fan base was producing better material. As far as writing, storytelling, passion, actually being accurate to the TV show and the spirit of Gene Roddenberry. Yeah, the fans were doing a better job. And that's why it got shut down, in my opinion. But escapism should make you think, okay? There should be stories told with allegory. But I think the word political is overused because there is a side. I think the left. Here's the okay. The SJWs and NPCs, I won't even say left. We'll just say that culture likes to paint a picture that pretty much anybody right of center is a racist. So they say, like a Rosa episode of Doctor Who is a political one. No, it's a moral one. It's a moral one about racism. Okay, we get that. And with a space racist. And there are some within the SJW and NPCs who think we don't like the show because it's against racism. No, that's not. And I can't believe I have to say this out loud. We're against the show because it's obvious pandering. You guys don't really care about the racism. You just want to look good, and you made the show to win awards, and you were very disappointed when it didn't. So you had to make one up. Which was great. Yeah, because it was just a really bad episode. And it's not the message that anybody had a problem. It's the assumptions behind it. All right. The assumptions that this will teach those racists a lesson, those racists who elected that president, because there's a narrative out there. There's an actual narrative out there that this country has regressed in the 1960s, which it has not. It has progressed quite a bit. Now it's regressed recently, but just to subvert some expectations, not from the people you think, because the term person of color is being used. I can't even believe that's being used right now. But here, while I'm on Doctor Who, let's show you this little graph. Let's show you this graph. No, we just simply want good stories being told. I'm not asking not to think, okay? I like to think. I like to watch my stuff. That's why I like The Expanse. That's why I think The Expanse does a great job. It doesn't get really political, but it gets political within its show. So you can tell a political story within your narrative without offending anybody. You know what it takes? It takes talent. It just takes talent. That's all. Let me get that screenshot up here. By the way, I do need to refer you guys to my good friend Odin's movie blog. Did a video today where, I mean, listen, he just went to one Best Buy, and I'm actually going to go. I go by a couple of Best Buys on my way to the gym, and he showed a full rack of Captain Marvel 4Ks and steel boxes, which are usually gone like that. So I don't know if he got. Well, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Tuesday is usually shipment day, so that's day after shipment day. But usually that stuff's gone. So I don't know, but check out his video. It kind of reminded me of Jeff's action figure videos from World Class Bullshitters. Okay, so we're going to look at this graph. We're going to look at this graph. So this is the first Doctor Who first season, first 5, last 5 episodes, no holiday specials comparison. This graph was sent to me on an email, and I will just say thank you, friend. Okay. And I don't know if it's hard to see, but on the left, the blue line, the dark blue line is series 1 Eccleston. The green line is series 2 Tennant. The orange line is series 5 Smith. The light blue line is series 8 Capaldi. And the red line is series 11 Jodie. Now look at how high that started. For one, it did not beat Eccleston's, despite their expanded ratings, though the official ratings, it didn't beat it, but whatever. I mean, if they want to make up numbers, I think, by the way, there's a lot of skullduggery going on with the rating system in the UK. I tried to figure out how they accumulate their ratings, and wow, what a rabbit hole that is. So there are a couple companies that are independent, and there's one that's absolutely affiliated with the BBC, which I think is completely compromised, in my opinion. So what we see is a trajectory here. And mind you, this is the first season of each Doctor. All right. Now, with it, what the graph doesn't show is the second season always drops, because there's a wow factor with the Doctor. A lot of people will tune in to see a new Doctor. Doctor's not for everybody. It's not. It's simply not. You gotta be of a certain taste to like Doctor Who, at least here in America. And what's amazing here is look at this season 2. Look at that jump, and then it drops down. But then look where season 2 ended. That's incredible. That's the power of Tennant. If Tennant came back tomorrow, Doctor Who would be the biggest show in the world. Be the biggest show in the world. Everybody would be talking about it. It would be like the Beatles getting back together. And honestly, I think they could talk them into it. I totally do. Not with Chibi, but but honestly, yeah, with the BBC running things and the way they run things now, no thanks. So here we see the trajectory going down for Doctor Who. I was told constantly, and so was Bowles Trek and everybody else who, even the hashtag Not My Doctor movement, that we have been told time and time again, we are a small movement, and nothing, like everybody loves Doctor Who. It's super popular, and we're told that by Kurtzman and Star Trek. But when we get occasional tangible data, which is very rare, it shows the contrary. So this show lost almost 3.5 million viewers. Actually, more than that, 4 million viewers from beginning to end. And that is with some padded ratings in prime time. What they don't mention in this is most of these series premiered in spring. They didn't premiere in fall. It's better numbers in fall. So Jodie will be premiering in spring, I believe, of 2020. They are currently filming right now, and we will see. But the drop off from season 1 to season 2, even with the popular Doctors, is in the area of 10 to 15% overall. It's not a huge drop. Capaldi was a bigger drop. Listen, the Capaldi era was not good for Doctor Who. We just got to come out and say it. It did end on a higher note. It definitely ended on a higher note than most. because I will say that Capaldi season 8 was the best Capaldi season. I think it rallied. I think it had some good stuff, but it was mostly Capaldi's performance that carried it more than anything else. Clara was completely annoying, and Moffat had lost it. So, thank you for. Please send me this stuff. Do not always err that I missed it. I know a lot of people show me stuff that I know about, but I'd rather you guys err on like me not seeing something because I don't catch everything, and I'd love to hear from you. I absolutely love it. Like today, I was like, oh, I got nothing to make a video. Nothing grabbed me today to make a video on, and I've actually got to be into the story or feel like you're going to like it too. But mostly I have to be into it. And I came up with nothing today. So hopefully after the show, I'll have something to make a video about. But if not, I'm not going to just make a video to make a video. You have my promise on that one. Every single video I make, I'm actually into the story. That's why I risk the clicks and do one on meth being, which got demonetized and buried by YouTube because it had the word meth in it, but whatever. But the meth smuggling with the DC comic, because that was funny. That was funny. We are going back up. Who is messaging me? Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm getting a bunch of notifications too. I don't have the attention span to answer messages or anything while I'm live streaming, unfortunately. Thank you again, Jeff, for sending me that email. I did get it. And thanks all out of Bubblegum for backing Doug's comic. Captain Mary Sue SJW, $1.99. Hi, Gary. Do you know any of the comic book men? I do not. I know a few store owners, but they're mostly on the West Coast. I know a store owner in Chicago, but no. I know all the guys and gals here in San Francisco, and I know a couple. One of my best friends owns a shop in San Diego. Jamie Newbold owns Southern California Comics. He's kind of like my Yoda, my mentor. He's a good dude, and has a great shop in San Diego. It's great. But no, I do not. Okay, great. I meant on your channel. Oops. We can well, I don't know. I think we should go on your channel. Don't we want to get on your channel? I think that would help you more than it being on my channel. Richard Weffus for $2. JJ is building a Hollywood mediocrity monopoly. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. For $2. Thank you for the super chat. And that's what it is. And maybe that's what, Hollywood really would love something safe that they could just churn out. The problem is it just doesn't work. It never works. It works for a little while, but eventually it gets too homogenized and too boring and people get burnt out on it. I mean, look what happened the last couple of weeks. The summers have been terrible, but the thing is, like, television gets better and better. Swamp Thing is one of the best things I've seen this year from movie or television. It just gets better and better. Your Orville bid was was the best Guardians team up I've seen on YouTube channel yet. I love it. Like issue number 10 when Rocket teamed up with Deadpool. Oh, cool. I thank you. I liked my Orville video. That was fun. That was fun to do, and I was happy to do it. I was thinking, what was that? I had shower thoughts today where there should be an Orville Expanse crossover. Could you see the crew of the Orville dealing with the proto molecule? That'd be pretty funny, actually. And like Amos and Bortus fighting. JC Shaggy for $10. I can't think of anything JJ did that I've enjoyed. He's utterly destroyed Star Trek and Star Wars. He's only popular because he is Spielberg's boy. Never watched Lost. Cloverfield is a mess. Just stop. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like the most memorable thing I think he's done is the 2009 Star Trek. A Force Awakens, but A Force Awakens is not memorable. It's really average and generic. It's only memorable and iconic because it has those words Star Wars on it. but it really is meh. I don't even think, I mean, I think it's bad. I don't enjoy it, but it's nowhere near as bad as The Last Jedi. You could, with what JJ set up in Star Wars was incredibly blandly average, and you could have done something with it if you were talented. But yeah, didn't work out that way, did it? But there's still, oh, by the way, I'm sexist if I don't like The Last Jedi. Snowflame in post today. DM, email me tracking ASAP. Says Thundercats. Ho, thank you for the £2. Thank you. Somebody sent, I was sent, who sent me the new Guardians? Hang on. It's here. It's here. It's in my box of, at least it was. Oh, maybe it's not. No. Somebody sent me New Guardians 2 with the Snowflame issue. I thought I had it ready, but I didn't. Thank you, Thundercats. So, Captain Spire for $5. Gary, did you see the large Enterprise 1701A model in Toronto they gave away? Then someone bought it for $1,200. How big was it? I mean, $1,200 is, it's a lot of money, but it's affordable. How big was? No, I didn't see it. $1,200. That's it. I think the master replica stuff that goes for more than that, doesn't it? I mean, there are models that are like $5,000 and $6,000, which is too expensive for me. I get called out for books. Mike Brown says you get called out for your books, the Atlantis Chronicles. Why? What's in it? What do you get called out about, Mike? Thank you for the $2. Technochronic concentration camp for Australian $2.99. The Russians learned how to code. They did. Oh, terms like that can get you deplatformed. Johnny Midnight, $2. Hey, move to Texas. We would love to have you. Well, I don't know. We got to talk to Mrs. Nerdrotic about that one. We certainly do. Thank you very much for the $2. Illumi Naughty for $10. Gary, looking forward to Exozone tomorrow. If you're interested, I'd love to send you an email tonight with my personal Exozone story. Do you get did you get the books I sent? Yes, I did. Illuminati, I did. Illuminati, did you sent the Jim Mars book, right? I got I gotta see if my note is in here. I know you put a note in this. Hang on. My eyes are so bad. Yes, I did get your books, but I got to parse out which one is which. My office is an absolute mess right now, so talk to me about it. Will probably get delayed till Friday, because I have to have all my notes together. But yes, I did get your books. I'm pretty sure those were the books right there. So thank you very much, and I will give you full shout out. Actually, anytime you guys send me something now, and tell me if you don't. Okay, for the time being, considering anti-truckers drama, I do credits as well, but from now on, it's just going to be first name or handle. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put your last name in whatsoever, based on what drama anti-trucker went over very publicly. So yes, I'm going to do credits with first names only and handles, and that's it. But we will go back to doing that. But if you guys just let me know what you want shouted out, because everything that we get in the toxic mailbag, we're going to put on our Instagram. We got Mrs. Nerdrotic and myself are running the Instagram now. So we're going to make sure you guys get 2 shout outs, one on the live streams and one on Instagram, which also gets shared on our Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group that my son runs. It's the Nerdrotic Podcast Facebook group. We also have a Facebook page. All the links are at nerdrotic.com. If you look to the right, I got Streamlabs, all that stuff. It's all on the right. So cool. All right. Yes, the Russians learn how to code. And I moving to Texas. It's probably going to be New Mexico, but Texas is in the cards. It is. And thank you, Illuminati, for the $10 and the books. Thank you. Anthony Lasago for $20. The best movie TV playlist. Look up movies made with Lightwaves 3D. Best set I've seen. I will look that up. Thank you, Anthony. Look it up where, though? I mean, it just on Google? Is that where I look it up? Here, I can quickly look it up right now. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's very cool. Oh, now I just lost my window, but that's okay. Anthony, thank you for the $20. And I will check that out. Thank you very much. David Street, $2. Love the show. Love you too. Love you too, man. Thank you very much. Natalie England, good to see you for 99-cent donation. I appreciate it. Psycho Dwarf 9. It's good to see you, Natalie. I haven't seen you in a while. So I don't know if you've been here and it's okay that you don't have to super chat at all ever, but it's good to see you. Psycho Dwarf 9, $5. Finished top 10 of 2,000 plus commanders in Elite Dangerous. Damn. That's a lot of work. Yeah. Well, congratulations. Thank you, Psycho Dwarf 9. Thank you. Thundercats Ho, $2. Sent Snowflame pick via Twitter. Message Jeff Wade. Gotcha. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I think I've Doug was thanking me for the plug. You're welcome, Doug. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm sorry it was late. That is my apologies. I will plug it again on Twitter. Tell me what I need to do, and I will do it. I want to get you. I want you to make a lot of money off that. I do. Yes, make money. I want you to give something that people want. Make something that people want. They enjoy it. In turn, it's an exchange. It's goods in exchange for cash, where you can like pay some bills and do something nice with Mrs. Ernst. Yeah, that's how life rolls. You guys with your very generous super chats and the ad dollars. That what? Sometimes it's nothing. And then sometimes it's like, whoa, it really depends on the video. I'm starting to kind of figure out like what YouTube likes and what they don't. Now that doesn't affect my content, but for example, if I make a Game of Thrones video, YouTube loves that. YouTube loves when I make a Game of Thrones video because they show me that love in advertising dollars because it's pretty crazy considering the amount of work I do and the return. It's like, all right, but they don't love when I do Alex Kurtzman videos, but you guys love it. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Cause like one video will have like, 400,000 views and won't do as good as one that has like 200,000 views. I can't, the only way I can figure that out is actual content. So they are paying attention to the content. And I don't think that's an algorithm. I think that's a person. I just call me nuts on that one. But I would like to remind everybody out there in the world that my number one video is an Orville video. It's an Orville video. It's at 400,000 plus views. It's an Orville Rotten Tomatoes video. I don't see the message. But I've got a crap load of messages. My DMs are open, and that is a problem. Oh, Anti-Trekker got back to me. Should we read it live on the air? No, I'm not going to read it. Anti-Trekker, I hope you're feeling better. Anna, but I will, Jeff, I'll get to that. Thank you, Snowflame. By the way, who is Snowflame? Snowflame is the cocaine-powered superhero. Cocaine is his god, and he is the instrument of its will. Anna Folkenstall. I want to say Forrestal, but I won't. I marathon through The Expanse because of you. Gary, love Amos and Alex a lot. I do too. So I was debating with the gentleman on EFAP yesterday. They don't like The Expanse, which it's a free world. Well, not really, but we can pretend it is. And I like The Expanse. Their minds weren't changed. My mind wasn't changed, but we remained friends. Then we came together to bash what culture a little bit, which was fun. Yeah, I might do just a video on that because there's a video by what culture, 8 things that I got wrong and you got wrong about Game of Thrones season 8, and it's because we weren't paying attention. It's because we weren't paying attention. Okay, so I might we EFAP'd the hell out of that, and I'm gonna probably do a video. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'll do a video on it. There you go. See, I just thought of a video for tomorrow. Done. Angelus is it Angelus Draven or Angelus Draven? $5. Signing up for DC Universe now. Good. Looking forward to watching Swamp Thing. Thank you for introducing me to the Orville. Only 5-6 episodes. It's amazing. It's amazing, right? So, yeah, I'm going to show it again because I'm damn proud of this. And it goes to show you that good and bad, if you make a video about something, they're paying attention. You always want to keep that in mind. So that's why I have a firm policy of no personal attacks. I don't do personal attacks. I won't do personal attacks. I will attack the hell out of people's content and opinions, but I will not. I will never, ever, ever, ever attack somebody for their looks. Ever. That's a line for me. Now, if other people do it, I'm not telling them what to do. There's somebody at my door. Do you believe this crap? Why don't you marvel at the Seth MacFarlane tweet while I run to the door? I have to do this because it's San Francisco and people steal stuff. So give me just a second. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Sorry about that. So yes, this was very cool. I got, this came out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it was the video I did for Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. It was an absolute pleasure to do that video. And I will do one for The Expanse for you, Jeremy, if you don't mind. I'll do the same thing for The Expanse. And I'll keep my promise for The Expanse. If The Expanse releases weekly, I promise to release 3 videos a week on The Expanse. I can't promise they'll all be positive unless, I'll be honest, but it'll probably be a positive video because I adore The Expanse. I think I minorly criticized it once and it wasn't their fault. They had to rush the ending for season 3 because they were getting canceled. I totally understand. So this came out of nowhere after I did the video for Geeks and Gamers. And also my good friend JP, okay, got some shout, and he deserves all the love. His channel, while not 100% dedicated to the Orville, it's mostly dedicated to the Orville. And he runs a really good channel over there. I like JP a lot. I think what JP does is a very good thing on YouTube. It brings a lot of love on YouTube. So, you got to appreciate that. And who has anything bad to say about JP? Like, he seems like just the nicest guy in the world. So there you go. But there are examples of good stuff. So I'm glad people are enjoying the Orville, and I hope to be solution-based. Star Trek Discovery sucks, so simply watch another show that's far superior, which is the Orville. The Orville is just a superior show in every single way, right down to the special effects. I would rather watch Orville special effects than shaky, blurry, dark things that I can't see. And listen, it's a trick. Just freeze frame any special effect from Star Trek Discovery and tell me if you can get a clear picture. Because I tried. So in the final episode, I tried to get they blur the crap out of everything. And occasionally that's good. You have to do that sometimes, but not all the time. The Orville effects are, while they're not perfect, they are crisp. They're clear. I can see what's going on, and it doesn't ruin my suspension of disbelief in any way, shape, or form because I've bought into the show. Why did I buy into the show? Because it has relatable characters that, more importantly, likable characters. I don't really care if they're relatable or not. Are they likable? I don't like anybody in Star Trek Discovery. I think I like Saru because I like Doug Jones. Doug Jones deserves better. Um, I was watching Space Command this morning. Mark Zickery dropped the pilot again on his channel. I watched the whole thing. It's not perfect, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I enjoyed it because Doug Jones has a great performance in that. It's really good. So, but it's not. Listen, it is basically a very expensive fan film made by a professional who is a very good writer who is limited with what they can do special effects wise. So if you keep that in mind and you watch Space Command, it's basically a pilot shot to get sold, and hopefully he can reshoot it with some more money. But I definitely, if you're a fan of sci-fi, old school sci-fi, it's worth checking out. It's free. It's on YouTube. There you go. So I'm glad you like The Expanse, and I'm glad you guys like Swamp Thing. Definitely listen, you guys spend $5-10 here and there. 1 month of DC streaming, I think, is no more than $10. And you get comic books. You can watch Doom Patrol. You can watch old episodes of Wonder Woman. You can watch Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. Young Justice is coming. I mean, like, there's your money right there. If you get it right now, you'll get the last part of Young Justice, and you'll get Swamp Thing. That's worth $10. That's worth $20, in my opinion. Right. Richard Wetfuss. I just lost you. I'm going to find you again. I will find you. My friend. Not sure about Odin after what he did to EVS today and Jeremy. What? Oh boy. Is there drama? Listen, I don't get involved in drama. I do not get involved in the drama. I don't know what happened. So, yeah. But chances are Jeremy's not mad at him unless he, yeah. I don't know. Until I see otherwise, I'm out of it. Brother Malachi for $20. Mark my words, they'll try to blame Captain Marvel's bad DVD Blu-ray sales on disc being a dying format. I totally agree with you, brother. As a matter of fact, that hit my brain when I was looking at the eBay prices. Thing is, some of us still want discs because we know net companies can take down video streams. The excuses don't fly. No, I've actually picked up my physical media purchasing, and it's been Bowles Trek and Doomcock who've really talked me into this. Like Doomcock and Bowles Trek both told me, like, Doomcock will get something out of the bargain bin for $2, and honestly, it makes all the sense in the world because if I can't stream it anywhere, I own something for $2. Yeah, it's a DVD. Yeah, it's 480p. Who cares? Most of the time, I'm watching stuff on my computer. But yeah, like I recently bought this because this is, I know it's my favorite TV show, and it stars a girl, but I'm a sexist. But then I also have this, and I also have, I'm going to knock down a picture, and this, but I am a homophobe, sexist. I'm a homophobe sexist. So what I do is I basically watch that stuff and hate myself. Yeah. So, okay. So, some of us, still want discs. Yes. Brother Malachi, thank you for the $20, and absolutely hit the bargain bins and stock up. If you think about it, it's a lot cheaper than getting multiple streaming services now. And you can start oh boy, there goes my whole pile. You could start your own streaming service at home. I've got a cloud set up where I have all my digital stuff. I have, you don't even want to know. I have, 4, I mean, this was big at the time. Okay. So I have 4 2 terabyte drives and a 5 terabyte drive full of movies and TV shows. They're all full, stacked. Because I had access and I had permission to a huge library, and I was able to take. They said take whatever you want. I said okay. Download, and I spent months downloading that stuff. So I have access to a lot of stuff. Um, oh, that reminds me. Starting next week on the Patreon, we're gonna Sunday is the day the tiers change. They're gonna be a lot simpler, and you're gonna get the weekly live stream starts back up next week, and then you're gonna get audio theater. Audio theater is gonna be a fun part of Patreon where I'm gonna share some of my audio. I have like lots of audio dramas, and I'm gonna share some of them with you because I love audio dramas. The Dreckies don't like to admit we are the majority. The current creatives have won for sure if destroying the fan base and going broke is their goal. Yes, Tokyo Gaijin, and thank you for the heads up yesterday. I greatly appreciate it for 650 yen. I had no idea what was going on. I had zero idea what was going on. And then I saw what was going on. I'm like, oh God. Uh, honestly, again, I spend 30 minutes a day on Twitter. I limit myself. It sucks because I can't get to every message, but I really don't get caught up. I don't do videos on Twitter drama. I don't get caught up in Twitter. I like to interact with people I like. So I will try to, I know a lot of you, so I will try to get, because a lot of you, yeah, the vast majority of you show lots of love, and that's what I appreciate. And that's why I go. That's why I go. You can choose to find what you want. I mean, I see it. I got called a liar, and that's fine. I get called worse in the comment section. So as long as they keep it to me, I'm fine. That is cool. They can even make personal attacks at me. That's fine. Just leave it to me. Make sure you're just attacking me. I would if I knew how to set up a live stream. Tharis, you don't have to give it super chat. I can show you in like a second. It's really easy. We can share. I can start a hangout call with you, and I'll share my screen and I'll show you how to do it. You got to start live streaming. Yeah, live streaming is like the best part of YouTube, and it sucks because you know what YouTube's not talking about, folks. Them getting rid of Hangouts means we can't have shared live streams unless it's going to be on sharing your Discord, which means a lot of people are just not going to do it. So you're going to get, they're going to lose a lot of live streams because they're getting rid of Hangouts and they're not freaking replacing it with anybody. And they're not communicating with anybody about this. So, I mean, like I use Hangouts. Now I'm going to have to go and get a streaming thing to have a guest on. And, I like to keep things as simple as possible. And I don't even, OBS is fine, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about it. So I might get Wirecast. But that's going to cost me Wirecast. The good one is $600, $700 a year. Yeah, $700 a year. Not too sure about that. So yeah, it might just be solo streams from here on out. I don't know, or stuff through Discord. But that, yeah, it's complicated. I don't like it when it's complicated. The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews £2. Says MI3. Are they? What's MI3? Is a show? That's a show, right? Is that a show? That's a show. Christian Denzler for $5. I made the mistake to buy season 11, pass on Doctor Who from Google. I kind of had to watch all of it. Won't do that again. Yes. Well, I have to follow through on a promise because somebody sent me money and asked me to buy season 11 on Blu-ray, which I did. And I'm going to review it, the entirety of it on Blu-ray. And that's going to start right after I've done season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. And then I got to do Captain Marvel. So I'm doing Captain Marvel. I'm actually recording Captain Marvel and Star Trek Discovery right now. When they're done, I don't know. But the tricky thing is, because I show myself on the camera, is I've always got to make sure I have the right shirt clean. I can't be changing my shirts. Does Mrs. Nerdrotic know you're so sexist? No, don't tell her. Don't tell her, Eric K, for $2. Shh, it's between us. Generic. for Canadian $20. One of the VQA wineries, Carignan, Ontario, has started selling a blue wine that tastes of berries and looks exactly like Romulan ale. If I could send alcohol across the border, I would send you some as a novelty bottle. Well, thank you. Mrs. Nerdrotic's a lush. She would drink it all. That's brilliant. I love that. Now, Mrs. Nerdrotic used to drink the Cardassian coolers at the Star Trek Experience at Vegas all the time. As a matter of fact, I have a picture. I'm beardless, so be prepared. But this is from the Star Trek Experience when it was around. Can you see it? Hang on. I got to make sure you can see it. Yeah. So that's us in front of the Borg. And I had my like 2000s crazy bleached hair, rock star hair going. Yeah. Yeah. Don't judge. Don't judge. Matthew Myers for $5. Love the show. Have you seen Wayne on YouTube Premium from the writers of Deadpool movie? Seems hurt by lack of promotion and binge model release. No, I had never even heard of it. Are you serious? There's a thing called Wayne on YouTube. Well, for one, okay. All writers, all creatives out there, never name your show after the name of a person. It's the most, I know it's worked for some stuff, but it generally doesn't. Like, I'm not going to go see the movie John Smith because it's just called John Smith. It sounds boring as John Carter. The only reason I saw John Carter is because I knew it was John Carter of Mars. If Disney would have put the of Mars on the back of that, they would have got a hit. They would have had a hit because I know some people don't like it, but that movie's got a cult following. That's got a giant cult following. And it will be just a matter of time where people are looking back at John Carter like they were The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element was kind of a bomb when it came out. I don't think it made $100 million in the States. Maybe it did. I don't think it did. It bombed, and I couldn't believe it. Like, my friend and I saw it, and we thought it was the greatest thing we'd ever seen. I was like, that is the greatest movie I've ever seen. I freaking loved every second of it, and people hated it. I'm like, huh? How could you have hated that movie? Where are we 10 years later? It's one of the most adored movies out there. The soundtrack is collectible, or it was for a while, which I have. And I bought it because it was the only thing I could buy. There was a book that was printed in France, like a making of. I remember spending $100 on Amazon.co.uk to buy it. And there still isn't a decent 1/6 scale action figure of Lilu, which I'm still looking for, by the way. Somebody wants to custom make me one of those, I will pay you for it, but it's got to look good. You got to take the Resident Evil Mila Jovovich and turn it into a Lilu. And yeah, I would pay big money for that. Nerf Herder, $2. Keep making great content, Gary. Well, thank you. You don't want to know how I can keep doing that? You guys have shown me tons of love. I feel bad. I feel like I should be making more, but I really can't. My video process is somewhere in between Jeremy's and Jeff's. Jeff is really he writes out his videos. I don't want to give too much. He takes his time. He's very particular with what he does. Jeremy's got a great eye. Jeremy's got the best eye for knowing what to hit on that he cares about that you want to see. So I try to be somewhere in between there. But never not as good as either of them, but close. Close is good. $5 retracted. I'm sorry. Why did it get retracted? Please put it in the message at Nerdrotic. I will read it. Cry K Internet Radio for 10 pounds. Great channel. Keep it up. Hey, thank you. Thank you. And I just want to apologize to my UK friends. I'm sorry it took me so long to get a Doctor Who video out, but the response has been unbelievable on that video. I kind of did it and I didn't think it would do as well as it did. So it's really gotten a great response. I wasn't sure what I would get, but people are still pissed about Doctor Who. People are still really upset about Doctor Who. And I think they're feeling the loss even more now because we're what are we, a year into the Jodie project, a year and some change into since she was announced to when maybe over a year now. And people are starting to feel the loss of Doctor Who. And I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going to guess Big Finish sales are probably better than ever. Nicholas Briggs is probably just printing money right now. Shit, he's got me subscribing to the service. I just got this. 10th. These are awesome, by the way. This is like good packaging. Everything about this rocks. So this is the 10th Doctor Audio Adventures. Yes, it's David Tennant. Yeah. They're brilliant. And I love this packaging. Now, this is the limited edition. They even number it in the back. And they become hard to find. Like, these things sell out. They are immensely popular. So Big Finish, good on you. Okay, Psycho Dwarf 5. Sheepishly, I can't tell DC. It upsets him. Love your stuff. Why does it upset him? Okay, I'll let him know. Things don't upset Doomcock. He is the future ruler of Earth. Things do not upset him. Evening, Mr. B. Can't have a Nerdrotic live stream without commenting. So I'm commenting. LOL. Remember Battle Beyond the Stars? The ship with breasts. Yes, Sean. I can even show that. Battle Beyond the Stars. I put it a little more crassly. Yeah. That wasn't really well thought out, was it? It really wasn't well thought out, but I can show y'all. Let's take a look at the ship with tits. There you go. That's just for you, Sean. And we can even go up and there's a meme. Oh, that was a great. I love that movie. I love the 80s. The 80s were great. But I'm glad they're over too. I don't miss them. I just love them. I don't pine for the 80s. Trust me. All right. Okay. Rowan Mangian for Australian $7.99. Hey Gary, have you heard anything more about the Judge Dredd Mega City 1 series? I saw a few interviews about it, but no more. Thanks, Rowan. I haven't. I know they want to do it, but it's something that I think it's self-funded. So whatever they're doing, because sometimes it's confusing. So people will announce shows and it'll be production companies announcing shows, which means we're going to try to make a pilot and sell it. So that's not a show being picked up by anybody or officially being made. So a lot of times you hear the intention of making a show and it's probably not going to hit, I would love to see it. But Carl Urban's going to be busy with the boys. I will check the news though. Mega City 1. I would love. Oh my God, that would be great. No updates at all. God. Well, it's got an IMDb. 6-part web series set in Judge. Okay, so it's a web series now. Okay, well, that gives it a chance to survive. Interesting. So it's going to be a web series. Well, I mean, that'd be a chance we could see it. I'm not too sure about the web series thing, but I hope it's great. Anthony Lasago for $20. Wikipedia, Lightwave 3D, Firefly, X-Men, Avatar, Men in Black, Fifth Element, Pan's Labyrinth, hundreds more. Sorry, forgot to say where. Gotcha. All great stuff. All great stuff, except for Avatar. But I like Pan's Labyrinth. I love Firefly. Thanks, Anthony. And thank you for the $20. I greatly appreciate it. Richard Wetfus for $5. Difference is I like the characters in the Orville. The best I can do for the characters in Discovery is Benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that's it. I try to forget them. Thank you for the $5. Chris Stanley for $5. Are you going to check out Doctor Sleep, the Shining sequel at Nerdrotic? Yes, I am. I will. Um, I haven't read the book yet, though. My friend told me the book is great, but I haven't read the book. Thank you, Chris. Mr. Peace Frog, $5. Imagine Doctor Who portrayed by Morrissey. His sidekick could be James Dean, played by James Franco. David Morrissey as the Master. Johnny Marr as Davros. That would be great. And then they could all jam together afterwards. Can we get the Smiths back together? Can we get this? Do you know that Coachella has a standing offer? They had a standing offer for Bowie before he passed away. Every Coachella the rumor was Bowie's going to play this year. And then they almost got the Smiths. Bald Eagle, 1787, $10. Where I work, the Captain Marvel toys have dust on them. Yes, they actually do over here too. There's a Target. Actually, it's pretty easy to get Captain Marvel toys. The movies are also just sitting there. It's so nice to see. The people who did buy a copy probably needed a cup a cup coaster. Understandable. Yes, understandable. The reason Captain Marvel won Best Fight on the MTV Movie Awards was not because people voted for it, is because it was part of a Blu-ray promotion for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel Blu-ray just came out. And we do need to talk about the obvious Brie Larson coming out with 2 stunt women after she said she did her own stunts. Well, she's not necessarily lying, but stunts is a very broad term. Actors use doubles for the craziest things. We're talking walking down stairs, like very light things. So she probably rolled over a couple times and punched somebody. That's my guess. But that shows that Brie Larson will publicly lie. Yeah, and maybe she was tongue in cheek, but it's a bad look. It's a bad look, but she doesn't care. She's a very manic person. Whatever. But as far as the movie is concerned, it time will tell. That's the kind of movie where I don't worry at all. I don't think I'm wrong about it. I think people who actually have talked themselves into liking that movie really need to like check their motivation on that one. If you thought like it was genuinely a good movie, well, okay, you have bad taste, because objectively, it's a bad movie. I have no skin in the game whatsoever. If I thought Captain Marvel was a good movie, I'll tell you, I don't care what the blowback will be politically or anything. If I see a movie I enjoy, I will tell you. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was so subpar for a Marvel film. And listen, I didn't like Wasp and Ant-Man. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was very good. A lot of people are disagreeing with me on that, but I think that was actually the start of all this. It was very subtle, but if you watch that movie again, everything Paul Rudd does is stupid. He's an idiot throughout the entire movie, and the movie pretty much belongs to the Wasp. She's presented more in the posters. She's more centered in the posters, and that's fine. But you're selling us an Ant-Man movie, and then you give us a Wasp. And quite frankly, Evangeline Lilly is cool as Wasp. I don't have a problem with her, but she's not tons of screen presence there. All right, she's good as a side character. Paul Rudd is a good leading actor that I think got sidelined for not terrible at all, but just bland Evangeline Lilly. Keep fighting the good fight. Krakow. Poland says hi. Mike, back at you. It's good. Poland is like the rebel country over there in Europe. We love that. Technocratic concentration camp for Australian 1799. If you had to do it all over again, would you marry Doomcock? No, I wouldn't. Doomcock, yeah, I'm not into guys, I'm sure people think that though, if I had to do it all over again. Yeah, maybe over my first wife. That'd be something I would consider. Trooper Bear FN 2525, $5. I am just kidding, by the way. And just joking, first wife. Always buy discs. Good example was Zuni's replacement for Xbox Marketplace. Captain Marvel discs aren't moving at Target either. Deserves mention too. Hey, everybody, and I mean everybody, take pictures. If you see big stacks of Captain Marvel videos, send them to me. Send them to. I can make a video out of it. I can shout out Odin because he was the first one to do it. I will, like what the hell? After this live stream, I got a Best Buy 2 miles away. I can go to and go check it out. And there's actually 2 Targets next to it. I'll go. What the hell? James Moore for $5. Howdy, Gary. Just wanted to stop by, give you some support. You know how it is. Keep up the good work. I do. Thank you, James. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. You know what? What time is it? Hang on just a second here. My chat froze, so we're gonna refresh. We're gonna refresh. Be right back here. I was like, why isn't my chat moving? Because it froze. Now you're out there. So we're gonna get to the other chat. Hello, we're back at you. How are you? Heyo, move to Tejas, says Stephanie B. Stephanie, did you change your profile picture? You did. Okay. I was like, that's Stephanie B? Okay. What's up, Stephanie B? Move to Texas. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That would be a tough sell on. Oh, dude, what is up? We got Dave Cullen in the house. MCU won't last another 10 years. Too much wokeness coming in the future. Star Wars is vandalizing by Disney shows that no franchise is too big to fail when it succumbs to political correctness. Everybody support Dave Cullen. I know the crap you're going through on YouTube with the algorithm right now. And listen, Dave Cullen, the reason Dave Cullen is dangerous to them anyways, is because he is classy. He's not full of, he's very to the point. He's got like the razor sharp wit and that they can't, that's the kind of thing that they can't fight. And that's why they, throw names at us and stuff, but support Dave. And plus he's a ginge. But I will hang on. I will show you an article that. Thanks for bringing that up, Dave, because it reminds me of the retcon that I saw. Okay, we're gonna go to Bounding into Comics. Don't go anywhere, Dave. Where is the Black Widow story? Indie Comic Troop, Kevin Feige report. Oh, now I can't find it. Oh, Bernie Sanders thinks the gaming industry should unionize. Well, that is the best way to make sure all of your jobs go overseas. Honestly, dude, where did it go? Did you pull the article? Hang on, I'll do it. We'll do this right here. I should have bookmarked it. Did I imagine seeing it? Oh, I must have saw it somewhere else. Hang on. So if I don't find there it is right there. It's freaking Gizmodo. That's why I wanted to block it out of my brain. Yeah. So within this article here, they talk about more retconning in the MCU, which means, you know what it means, more wokeness. So it seems like with all the female films, or at least with a couple of the female films, they're going to make them prequels. Well, there's a reason they are making these prequels. Let me read you the article, and I'm sure you're smart enough to figure it out together. Dave, while you're in there, dude. So I must be missing your emails because I emailed you, and I'm sure you emailed me back, and I missed it. So, right after this ends, I'm going to email you. Like right after this live stream, I'm going to email you, and then email me back, and then we can get together and do something because I really want to live stream with you or talk to you because you rock. And yeah, support Dave. So here we go. Kevin Feige hints on how a Black Widow prequel could reveal secrets of the MCU. Black Widow is dead. This much we know from Avengers Endgame, and yet, if the rumors are true, Scarlett Johansson is about to or already has started filming on Black Widow movie that would be one of the first films in Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Though neither Disney or Marvel Studios have confirmed the movie is happening, we asked Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige how potentially going back in time for Black Widow prequel could possibly help move the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe forward for Phase 4. There's a method to our madness, Feige told IO9 while promoting Spider-Man Far From Home. There's always a method, and doing things in an unexpected way is something we find fun. There are always ways to do prequels that are less informative or answer questions you didn't necessarily have. Did I say less? Okay. And then there are ways to do prequels where you learn all sorts of things you never knew before. Like Nick Fury's eye getting scratched out by a little kitty cat. It seems if Feige is suggesting if a Black Widow prequel is coming, which it totally is, come on now, please, go girl. It would be the latter, a film that teaches audiences things they didn't know before. Maybe she interacted with the Skrulls like Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. Maybe she unlocked a whole other plot that she never got to finish. Or maybe she came up with the name Avengers, and maybe she did everything first before a guy. Sound familiar? I just had a bad joke that I'm just not going to say, but it was insinuating maybe she found Captain America frozen, and never mind. I look at Better Call Saul, which admittedly I like quite a bit. Okay, that's a damn good show. Last season was kind of meh, but the first 3 seasons have been pretty damn good. As a wonderful example of a prequel that almost completely stands on its own apart from Breaking Bad because it informs you so many things you shouldn't know about before. It stretches a couple things too a little bit, and it certainly did that last season. And it's getting long in the tooth. Feige continues, so time will tell which way we've got with the supposed Black Widow, which way we've gone with a supposed Black Widow movie. Feige lightly chuckled after the last phrase. Well, with Marvel Studios set to return to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con in about a month, we're likely to get much more news on this supposed Black Widow movie. I will not be in Hall H for anything Marvel. It's not worth the time in line. I will learn about it when you all learn about it. But for fans dying to know for what comes next after Avengers Endgame, well, Spider-Man Far From Home will offer a good chunk of the answer. It opens July 2nd. There you go. So look for more retconning, in other words. I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to take the female-led film and try to retcon more female power in the past because Hollywood, the BBC, feels some need to erase. I'm using their thought process, and it's kind of hurting my brain right now. But like erase the patriarchy's past because the patriarchy was so patriarchal before, and we can't have that because you might hurt somebody's feelings in the future, or we're going to retroactively take away any connection between a man maybe passing down a mantle or mentoring a woman or giving power, or the perceived notion of a woman getting power from a man. We're just going to erase this from existence because it's bad. This is insane. It's insane. And I was seeing it for a long time, and I didn't bring it up because I thought I was going insane. Now, I always kind of think I'm going insane, but that's because I've done a lot of acid. But um, and now that I see, it was nice to see other people like Dave bringing it up before. And I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm not effing crazy. Like, this is happening. They are trying to use our franchises for propaganda, for agenda, and to what ends? I don't know what the end is. You want a matriarchy? Is that the ends? Or what? I don't know. I honestly don't know what the ends are, but it's certainly, it was happening before Harvey Weinstein, though. That I know. And it was that kind of pushed things forward. But like I said earlier in the show, my opinion is it's not a coincidence that J.J. Abrams is getting a $500 million deal, and he's married to somebody who founded the Time's Up movement. I don't think that's a coincidence. I know I'm going out on a limb with that one. I really am. Let's get back to the chat, then we'll get back to the super chats there. Oh, by the way, let me do this for Dave. So the algorithm was not being kind to good friend. And I don't like that. And by the way, just so you know, my videos do not largely get demonetized. So I'm probably not edgy enough. I don't know, but I mean, it's rare when I get a demonetized video. Anything with Vox, I'm going to say it, Vox Adpocalypse, this one will get demonetized now because I said that. Got demonetized. I don't care. And oh, by the way, I said I would share a video if you did Vox Apocalypse, but it's somebody wanted me to share something. It was 2 hours long. It's like, I can't watch an hour and a half video. So I'm going to watch most of it so I can get the gist of it. But yeah, if you want to share a 10-minute video, if you want me to share it on Twitter, if it's for the Vox Apocalypse, I will still do that. If it's long, I got to watch it first before I share it. But when I eventually watch it, I will share it. But if it's long, it's going to take time. But certainly, I don't want that to die down. And here is, not that he needs my help or anything, but this is Computing Forever. Please subscribe to the Ginge. He probably gets mad. You don't get mad when I say that, right? I'm just kidding. So Maverick MX, what's up, my friend? Good to see you in the chat. It will not end. I don't think it will. To be honest with you. We just want to, I don't know, get a leg up. Maybe. I don't know. Where was I? Shannon Aubrey for $10 and no comment. Hi, Shannon. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome to the party. If you have a question, hit Nerdrotic in the chat and I will answer it. And if I don't have an answer, I will make one up, according to many people who are on the Dreckie side. They ran out of Southern Civil War general monuments to tear down, so movies and TV are next. No luck cardboard. Exactly, because we need to erase. It's so dumb. That's why the Oberlin College thing that I've been following on Tim Pool's stuff. He's been covering it. Is huge. And honestly, I don't think Oberlin College was punished enough on that one. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist, but weaponizing students, they're caught weaponizing students to try to take down a business. Is that any different than one of the big companies trying to like take out an individual like Crowder or Cullen or Doomcock or me? Because it won't stop. I mean, they've said it a million times. It won't stop with just political stuff. It'll be at me. I'll put out a Kurtzman video someday and then they'll say, can't do that, and then the thing is, I understand YouTube's position. I do. And I think they do what they think is the best they can. And hopefully they will continue doing that. I'm going to stay on entertainment this one, but I've got another Box Apocalypse live stream to do in the very near future. Very near future. I want to get a good panel on that one though. The Big Red Bear for Canadian $5. Honestly, I unsubscribed. I was no, you don't want to do that. No. He says, but I got to read it. Okay. So everybody has a voice here, even the great Big Red Bear from Canada, who's been a big supporter here. Honestly, I unsubscribed from computing forever. I think he's incredible hyperbolic. I think he's a bit nutcase, and I'm no SJW. I don't think so. Give him a chance. I've been listening to his videos for a long time. I don't listen to nutcases. I don't. I listen to, I think he's pretty level-headed, Big Red Bear. Nola Cardboard, thank you again. And Shannon Aubrey, thank you again. Linus 2014 Cougar, $10. The only way a Captain Marvel could be okay is if they approached it like Dragon Ball Z. The villain needs to be so OP. She would have to be, she would need to train to transform herself to form what would defeat him. The way they can make a Captain Marvel movie work, and I agree with that, Linus 2014 Cougar. I think you depower her a little bit. You could still make her one of the most powerful. You could, and honestly, nobody buys that Captain Marvel's no more powerful. When Norrin Rad comes in and the Silver Surfer, and like she's not more powerful than the goddamn Silver Surfer. But whatever. They need her to be the more powerful. Well, the way Captain Marvel can work is really simple. Recast her. They won't do it, but fine. Go ahead, man. You made your bed, lay in it, Marvel, because there are actresses out there. I can think of one right now who would play, and she doesn't even have blonde hair. Aubrey Plaza. Everybody loves Aubrey Plaza. She's a little crazy. I don't think she's crazy, really. I think she plays it very well, but she is she's got tons of charm. She's funny. And by the way, she's up for Catwoman, I think, or there's rumors that yes, the answer is yes. You want me interested in a freaking shiny Twilight Boy Batman? You put Aubrey Plaza in as Catwoman, I'm there. I am there with my money, because that is a perfect Catwoman. Aubrey Plaza is in a show, Legion, by the way, which premieres in 4 or 5 days. I am covering it on this channel. That is one of the good shows. Aubrey Plaza is great in it. So there are great female actors who would bring, put butts in the seats and not alienate fans. But Kevin Feige, for lack of a term, Kevin Feige chose her because of that. I don't know what was behind it. Maybe she's the anointed one by the Illuminati because of certain sacrifices were done the right way. I don't know. I'm kidding. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they stick with her. She's like, I think there's a belief out there that if you're hated by half the audience and loved by the other, that's like a good thing. And it really isn't. It really isn't. The thing is, when it comes to genre, it is my belief that Hollywood just doesn't understand it most of the time, and they really don't understand the fandom. And I don't understand everything. I don't. I am just a simple guy, but I've just been in and around fandom and doing business with them, like, for a large part of my life. So I know fans. I don't know creatives. I'm not a creative person. I didn't, I did a little work in Hollywood, but I'm not in the creative circles. I don't really care to be in the creative circles. I've never aspired to be that. I don't, it requires way too much ass kissing that I'm capable of. So, I like being, amongst the little people, as they say, the plebes. I'm just one of you. And they don't understand us at all. They try, but they don't. There's a ways they could find people There's people out there who understand. Besides me, there's tons of people who understand fans. My first pick would be like you get an old school comic shop owner. You want to talk about somebody who understands fandom? That's it. Like, and they would love to talk your ear off, and you probably only have to buy them lunch. But no, they don't care to hear it, so that's fine. That's fine. And they're going to continue having these problems until they just burn it all down and walk away, and then fandom is left with ashes. So we might as well make up our own stuff now. Richard Wetfist says Aubrey makes my pants tighten. Yeah, well, stop washing them in warm water, I guess. Arc Accurus 77855. By the way, thank you for the $2, Richard. $5. They want to rewrite history. It's scary how far this has gone. 10 years ago, I would never have guessed that we would where we are now. Yeah, it's really insane. How far things have gone. And honestly, I didn't think it would go this far either. I thought it was going in this direction, but I thought, yeah, the thing is, I think the pendulum wants to swing back, and there's a lot of powers that be are just trying to fight the inevitable. I am inevitable, but it's swinging back. It's how hard it's going to swing back. That's the question. Can you do a video about the Black Widow prequel? Sure. Says trans technocratic concentration camp, because I can read. Thank you for the Australian $2.99. Yeah. So basically my prequel thing, yeah, where I think they're going to be retconning like they did in Captain Marvel. Absolutely, because that's what they're going to do. Isn't it obvious? Please check out RMB from today. He reads my Fandom Menace manifesto. Oh, well, as long as he reads your stuff, I've been kind of it sounds, I don't know, he's been on a tear lately that I just don't agree with, so I kind of tune out, I watch, I mean, it's not like I tune out every opposing voice. I like to hear other stuff. But I've only got so much time in my day. But I will listen to the one today while I'm out running my errands. I listen to 90% of his live streams. Better late than never. Kapla, Nerdrotic. Alberto Prey 5. Hello, my friend. By the way, now that I've got you here, Anti-Trekker's link to your page, tell them to fix it, because it links to nothing. So now that you know, I've been trying to tell you guys, but I hate to put you on blast, but it links to nothing. So fix the link. Because I tried to hit the link, Bird of Prey 5, and I couldn't get to anything. But I love you, man. Thank you very much. And thank you again for, it's gone now, the hat, the Make Klingons Great Again hat. I greatly appreciate that. But all right, let's get to the chat here. Before the can't, there was the Lex. Remember the Lex? That's right. North American Hammer. Oh God, Hamremmer. That's right. For $2. Yes. But I don't know the Lex. I haven't watched that. But I know the Expanse, which is great. Mr. Roboto, Gary, how about a Clara and an Immortal spin-off? No. No, I don't want any more Clara. The Immortal is fine with Maisie Williams in their diner TARDIS. But that was still, I mean, I don't know. No thanks. I would like, well, a spin-off. If they did a Clara spinoff, if they made her like the Clara was from Asylum of the Daleks, sure. Absolutely. The one that was charming and funny and flirted a little bit. But see, flirting is now abuse, I guess. Yeah. What a fun world you're making. What an absolute fun world. I'm almost glad I'm like heading into my my old age, and I can just retire from all this shit. And just leave it to you guys to fucking deal with, because honestly, I mean, like, you take flirting out of the world, there is no reason to live. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Brian Hepburn. Did you see the article that Alex Kurtzman states he gave CBS a 5 to 10 year plan? By the way, it was a 5 year plan. The 10 was added on later for a Star Trek franchise. Yes. I absolutely did. Brian, thank you. Alex Kurtzman's modus operandi is to go somewhere and to basically upsell a franchise holder or to guarantee his job. He always does. I mean, look what he did. The Dark World, Amazing Spider-Man. He had spin-offs. He had everything set up for job security. And the thing is, the guy's not really into anything he does. I think he just wants to own a franchise. He just wants the control. But what's missing from Kurtzman and his people is the actual knowledge and passion for the franchise. So CBS was dumb enough to hire this guy. Whoever's responsible, you're an idiot. And now you're stuck with him. And according to my source says, there are people very unhappy with him at CBS. Some people like him. A lot of people don't. According to my source says, Netflix isn't happy. I don't know this for a fact, though. I don't. So we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. Section 31 not picked up a series yet. We'll find out. Honestly, my channel will benefit greatly the longer Kurtzman stays. I don't think he's in charge, though. I think he's in charge with by name only. They could be still following his plan, though. I mean, I don't think they're bringing in a new architect, but we'll see. We will see. The only thing we know is coming out is a Picard show. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. I don't know. We will find out. All right. And it is 4 o'clock, so we're going to call it. Yes, and a pizza. I still have some of my pizza left from the EFAP yesterday. If I missed anything, I'll get to it next live stream. Oh, wait, Matthew Myers. Hang on. There's some super chats I missed. There we go. Love the show. Have you seen Wayne? Oh, I already read that one. Thank you. I thought I didn't, though. Matthew Myers, thank you for the $5. I'm going to go over, though, just to make sure. Is it bad that I think Clara is really hot, says Technocratic Concentration Cap? No, not at all. I'm not saying she wasn't attractive. The writing for her character was incredibly annoying and unlikable. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anything. Dr. Ho for $1.99. Next, Captain Marvel can't take attraction to Star-Lord. Probably not, Dr. Ho. I think there's a reason they got rid of the Gamora and Star-Lord relationship. And I think they just want to get rid of relationships or heteronormative relationships within the MCU. That is my guess. I could be wrong. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any super chats. And if I did, I always go through at the end and I try to make up for them. So Shia Storm Dragon for $1. Thank you very much for the donation. No question, but thank you for the donation. I read that one. God, there was a lot of them today. Okay. So I always screenshot. Destiny Captain, thank you for $1.99. Gary, please check out my message from earlier in the chat. I don't know if I can get the chat only goes so much. So is it way earlier? DM it to me. Because yeah, the chat has gone they only keep the last like few minutes in my chat. Oh, check. I hope it's not in my email spam folder. Hang on, everybody. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Please enjoy your talk amongst yourselves. Checking my email and it's taken forever to load. In the meantime, I'll read a chat. Blame less Moonvis, says Natalie England. Yeah, I think that's the person we need to blame, to be honest with you. Oh, I got it. I got it. All right. You can tell Dave. I got it. There it is. Boom. All right. Dave Cullen and I have connected, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know what? I want to get young Ripa back on, and I got to get Jeremy back on, and we got to get Josiah on because Josiah's been having some trouble. So maybe we'll get a round table and just call it the demonetized live stream. We can do that. But in the meantime, future videos. So of course there's the vandalization of Jon Snow. There's the Star Trek Discovery season 2 review, which is basically what I watch it so you don't have to. There's Captain Marvel. There's Doctor Who Series 11. Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that yeah, I probably should do one on the Black Widow. The Black Widow would be a good one too. And we'll read that article. So Richard Wife is glad you're colon connected. I am too, Richard. I really am. I really, really am. What happened to the charity stream? Well, what happened was we already have the William Shatner thing coming. So everything keeps delaying it. But that's a good question. Mutated Genome. The charity stream will be 1 week from today. And that's going to go towards Autism Speaks and the Husky charity. That's going to be 1 week from today. All right. And it's going to be dedicated to that. But I have to have time to set it up. So my apologies. But that is happening a week from today. I'll schedule it. I'll even schedule it on my website. My live stream schedule is at nerdrotic.com. So please check it out there. There will be an Exozone tomorrow on Nerdrotic Live, 2 p.m. with Doomcock. So join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Nerdrotic Live. That is my other channel. Here, I will link it in the description for you. And if you're into the woo-woo, we'll be getting in the woo-woo. And we'll also discuss, we've got an exclusive. We've got an Exozone exclusive to discuss. And I look forward to for you guys to hear it. And everybody else, have a great, great day. Daryl Rayner for $4.99. Do you think CBS has learned anything valuable from the Star Trek Discovery debacle that will benefit the fandom menace? Time will tell. I think there are people at CBS who want to get it right. I do. I think there's a reason Star Trek Discovery went 1,000 years into the future. I think there's a reason Spock and Pike showed up in season 2. Because the show has been nothing but turmoil. And that's before we even showed up. It's gone through multiple showrunners. It's getting rejected. Half the people, yes, half the audience hate it. Not just dislike it, they hate it. They have a lot of fixing to do. And maybe Picard will be, we'll see. We'll see. I am not confident Alex Kurtzman, who is directly in charge of anything. Now, if he is not in charge of Picard and it's just in name only, sure, it's got a chance. But Akiva Goldsman is there. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But I know this. If they don't right the ship, it's another decade before they do. You can't just turn things around. These are giant franchises, and that's I understand why they haven't just put the kibosh on this one, because they need to make it work, because it's not like they can reinvent it in 2 years. Problem is, it's not good. It's not going to last, and all they're doing is losing money right now, and they're losing a lot of money. So, yeah. That rounding success costing tens of millions of dollars. Both my children have autism. So thank you. Natalie, you are welcome. And I'm sorry to hear, but it's also a gift. It's also a gift. We hear the sorries. I hear the sorries. I don't look at it that way. So it's just, it's a different kind of parenting. And Natalie, we know what it takes. It takes a little extra love. That's all. Do you think, so thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Natalie, Richard, Michelle P. Thank you for the 99-cent donation. Chris Persia. Thank you, Dave, for the $2 and checking this, and thank you, Destiny Captain, for the shout out there. 10 pounds. Been lurking your channel for the Game of Thrones stuff. You hanging out with Doomcock and Mauler makes you trustworthy in my book. Well, Tickleson, thank you very much for the lurking. Thank you for the 10 pounds. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, Mauler and Doomcock are good people. So yeah, I'm glad to be in their on their radar. So I'm going to go get something to eat, everybody, and you have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Live streaming, like I said, is my favorite thing to do. I like interacting with you. I don't hate you. I like you. Okay. And even if you disagree, unlike I know you don't feel that love from the people you give tons of money to. So you deserve it. You deserve it. And there's a lot of us out here fighting for your respect. And one day, my hope is we don't have to do that. We could sit there and start breaking down the lore of DS9 or breaking down the lore of a current Star Trek series that we are all enjoying. So a great example of a healthy fandom is the Orville and the Expanse. Yes, that's what Star Trek Discovery should aspire to. Seth MacFarlane is a shining example of how you treat your fans. That's it. All he does is treat them with respect. It's not rocket science. So that's why he is immensely popular. If he disagrees with somebody, I'm sure he does it openly. I haven't seen it, but if he does it with respect, that's all we ask. That's what we ever ask for. So that's why again, thanks Seth MacFarlane for making something that was fun. And that's something it's great to review because we just talk about the show. It's freaking great. It's great. And The Expanse is coming, man. So that's another good show. So everybody have a great day. Go to nerdrotic.com for my live stream schedule, and may the free folks sing songs for your greatness.